this goes to a little talking about what makes a wrestling fan. I think it doesn't matter if you're how long you've been watching the show, but how long you've been watching WWE, TNA, if you watch WCW, ECW, or Ring of Honor, or how old you are. I think if you if you started watching just this year, if you're really into the show, and you're really a passionate fan of the show, then I suggest you go back and watch what's happened up until now. I don't just mean the last year, I mean what's happened, and go back and do your research. Like, I have a 11-year-old nephew, and I got him watching wrestling a few years ago, but he knows the history. He knows that John Cena is not as good as everybody thinks he is. He knows that things are not he knows when the WWE is not telling the truth or not as good as they like to think they are. He knows the difference between what's really entertaining to real wrestling fans and not just for WWE. Because I taught him, I got him watching old tapes, old pay-per-views. I have WWE 24/7, and I've got him watching the shows when he comes to my house. So, if you're gonna be a wrestling fan, whether it's Ring of Honor, TNA, WWE, WCW, ECW, do the research, know your history, and become educated on it before you start believing that you know everything about wrestling. I started watching wrestling when I was 4 years old. I'm 26 years old now. I watched the so-called golden age of wrestling when there was Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, and Macho Man, and people like that. That's when I started. I went through the Attitude Era with Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Triple H, Mankind, The Undertaker. I watched, and now we're stuck in the PG era of WWE. But I'm more of a fan of TNA because they remind me of why I fell in love with wrestling. Why I watch wrestling. Because they remind me of the Attitude Era. They remind me of when WWE actually cared about putting on a good show and not just catering to a certain demographic or a certain group of people. They built those guys up. They made things seem real. They made things seem logical and easy to grasp. They did. But nowadays you have guys like John Cena get beat down for 30 minutes in a match and then come back in the last 2 seconds and win without doing anything and without even looking like he's hurt. You have a lot of things like that happen. That's my opinion. That's what makes a wrestling fan. A wrestling fan knows what they're talking about, does their research, no matter how long they've been actually watching the show. A real wrestling fan will go back, will find old tapes, do the research, and get knowledge before they talk about it.